Soil profile may be defined as a vertical section through a soil. It represents a sequence of horizons or layers differentiated from one another, but genetically related and included to parent material from which the soil profile is developed. 5 master soil horizons are recognized in a soil profile. These are designated using the capital letters O, A, E, B and C. Subordinate layers or distinction within these master horizons is designated by lower case letters. A common sequence of horizons within a profile is presented in table 1. O horizon. It is comprised of organic matter present above the mineral soil. It results from litter derived from dead plants and animals. O horizon usually occur in forested areas and are generally absent in cropland and grassland regions. A horizon. It is topmost mineral horizon which lies at or near the surface. It contains a mixture of partially decomposed organic matter which tends to impart a dark color than that of the lower horizons. E horizon. It is characterized as the horizon of maximum leaching or the zone of elevations, derived from Latin ex or E means out, of clay, iron and aluminum oxides, which leaves a concentration of resistant minerals such as quartz in the sand and silt fractions. B horizon. It occurs immediately below the E horizon, in which maximum accumulation of materials such as iron and aluminum oxides and the silicate clays. C horizon. It is the unconsolidated material underlying the B horizon. C horizon is less weathered than the A and B horizons and consequently has not been subjected to horizon differentiation. It is parent material from which soil is formed. Sometimes in the soils of arid and semi-arid regions, the accumulation of calcium compounds may take place in the C horizon. Horizons are soil layers that are approximately parallel to the soil surface. Each horizon is different from other horizons in the profile, usually but not always. The differences between adjacent horizons above or below are quite obvious to the eye, that is, color, structure differences, or the difference can be felt by the fingers, variation in clay content. The boundaries between horizons in a profile range from indistinct to abrupt and clear. Some boundaries are relatively smooth, that is, the horizon is the same thickness in that volume of a soil. Other boundaries have tonguing patterns, that is, large vertical variations in the boundary. In any particular observation of soil, the horizons can be seen in the thin observable vertical surface of a soil slice, which is called soil profile. Horizons can be thin, indistinct and discontinuous, and as such may be seen in one profile observation, but not be clearly visible in a second nearby profile. Horizons form because of differences in weathering with the depth, amounts of humus accumulated, translocation of colloids to deeper depths and losses of colloids from the profile in percolating waters. Usually, a horizon is separated from others because the horizon has accumulated more humus and is dark colored. The horizon has some of its clay and humus moved to greater depths and is a leached horizon. The horizon has accumulated or produced more clay than in other horizons. The horizon has accumulated some secondary minerals like calcite, gypsum, silica or iron oxides. The first scientists to study soils put labels on the different soil layers using the letters A, B, C and D. Since that time, letter horizon nomenclature has been modified and standardized by the Soil Survey Staff of the United States Department of Agriculture's Natural Resources Conservation Service. The latest major overhaul of horizon nomenclature was published in May 1981. General rules for usage and a few examples of soil horizons are as follows. Capital letters are used to designate master horizons. Lowercase letters are used as suffixes to capital letters indicate specific characteristics of the master horizon. Arabic numerals following horizon letters indicate vertical subdivisions within a horizon. Arabic numerals in front of master horizons indicate discontinuities, that is used in place of the Roman numerals previously used. Example, loess A over limestone B would have the B written as 2B to show parent material change, that is discontinuity. Transitional horizons are denoted by two capital letters. These horizons are transitional between the master horizons, that is O, A, E, B and C. They may be dominated by properties of one horizon, but may also have prominent characteristics of another. Both capital letters are used to designate these horizons. Examples, AE, EB, BE and BC. The dominant horizon being listed first than the subordinate one. Combinations such as A or E are used to design transition horizons where distinct parts of the horizon have properties of A and other parts have properties of E. Solemn. The A, E and B horizons together are called the solemn. This portion of the profile is developed by the soil forming processes and is distinguished from the parent material immediately below it. A theoretical mineral profile showing the major horizons is described below. OI. This horizon consists of the original plant and animal residues only slightly decomposed. OE. This horizon has residues intermediately decomposed. OA. Consists of highly or completely decomposed or wetted organic debris. On grassland, OI, OE and OA are usually absent. A dark colored mineral horizon with organic matter mixed intimately with mineral soil. When soil is flowed and cultivated, the upper 15 to 20 centimeter becomes the furrow slice. This may designated as AP. E. A light colored mineral horizon resulted from leaching, that is horizon of maximum elevation. EB. A transitional layer often absent when it is present. It is more like E than B. B. Also a transitional horizon and absent from most soils, but if present it is more like B than A. B. A horizon of elevation, maximum accumulation of silicate clay minerals of iron, aluminum and organic matter. In arid region soils, this horizon is often characterized by maximum development of blocky or prismatic structure or both. BC. Transitional to C. It may not be present. C. Unconsolidated parent material similar to that form which the solemn has developed. This may come from the bedrock below or it may have been transported from elsewhere and deposited on the bedrock. Or consolidated bedrock such as granite, sandstone, limestone, etc. Master horizons are further characterized by specific properties such as distinctive color or the accumulation of materials such as clay and salts. These subordinate distinctions are identified by using small letters. A list of subordinate distinctions and their meaning are presented hereunder. A. Organic matter highly decomposed. B. Buried soil horizon. C. Concretion or nodules. D. Dense unconsolidated materials. E. Organic matter intermediate decomposition. F. Frozen soil. G. To indicate glaying. H. To indicate accumulation of alluvial humus. I. Organic matter slightly decomposed. K. To indicate accumulation of carbonates. M. Cementation or indurations. N. Sodium accumulation. O. To indicate accumulation of sesquioxides nodules. P. To indicate effect of flowing. Q. Silica accumulation. R. Weathered or soft bedrock. S. Alluvial accumulation of organic matter and iron and aluminum oxides. T. Alluvial clay. V. Plinthite, that is high iron red material. W. Distinctive color or structure. X. Fragipan, that is high bulk density. Y. To indicate accumulation of gypsum. Z. To indicate accumulation of soluble salts other than that of calcium. It is not likely that the profile of any one soil will show all of the horizons that are cited here. Conditions of soil genesis will determine which horizons are present and their clarity of definition. A well drained soil commonly possesses OE or OA if the land is forested. A or E or both depending on the conditions B or BW and C. Both letter horizons, that is example A, E, and diagnostic horizons example Molik, Argillic are used. The letter horizons characterize the sequential horizons in relation to each other in that profile and are a part of each profile description. Diagnostic horizons in contrast require laboratory data, that is percentages of lime, salt, gypsum, clay for their verification. Diagnostic horizon is seldom used in detailed profile descriptions. Diagnostic horizons are used in the soil taxonomy system to differentiate among soil orders, suborders, grade groups and subgroups. Diagnostic horizons that form at the soil surface are called epipedons. Those that form below the surface are called subsurface horizons. Although letter horizons cannot overlap, two or more diagnostic horizons may often overlap. Epipedons. Anthropic epipedon, a man-made Molik horizon, a surface horizon formed during use of soil by people over long periods as home sites or cropland. When not irrigated, the soil is dry most years. Soil phosphorus concentration is high. Folistic epipedon, an infrequently saturated organic horizon, an organic surface horizon saturated less than 30 days per year. If flowed, the mixed surface layer may contain some mineral soil. Istic epipedon, a frequently saturated organic horizon, an organic surface horizon saturated for at least 30 days per year. If flowed, the mixed surface layer may contain some mineral soil. Melanic epipedon, a thick, dark, friable horizon formed in volcanic materials, usually more than 10% humus, low bulk density and at least 30 centimeter thick, dominated by volcanic material such as olivine clay. Molik epipedon, a thick, dark, friable, fertile horizon, a horizon commonly found in grasslands, that is molizols, vertizols. It is dark colored, contains at least 1% organic matter, is generally more than 25 centimeter thick and is fertile and non-acidic as indicated by a base saturation greater than 50%. Ocric epipedon, a thin or light colored horizon, a horizon common in arid and slightly developed soils, aridizols, entizols. It is too light in color, too low in organic matter, or too thin to qualify as another horizon. Phlegon epipedon, a man-made high humus horizon, a thick surface horizon higher in elevation and in organic matter content than natural soils because of long continued manuring. These horizons often contain artifacts such as bits of brick or pottery and are common in Europe. Umbric epipedon, a thick, dark, acidic horizon, a horizon common in wet, warm, subtropical soils, that is ultizols. Because of extensive leaching, this horizon is lower in fertility, that is both phosphorus and base saturation, than the more fertile horizons. Subsurface horizons. Agric horizon, a clay and humus accumulation caused by tillage. Albic horizon, a strongly leached high colored horizon, a heavily leached subsurface horizon common in cold, wet soils such as podozols. Argillic horizon, a clay accumulation, a horizon with a significantly higher clay percentage than the overlying horizons. This horizon is very common in most temperate soils, that is alphizols, ultizols, and is sometimes found in drier regions. Calcic horizon, a calcium carbonate accumulation, a subsurface horizon common in arid soils. It contains calcium carbonate than the underlying sea horizon, indicating accumulation from above. Cambic horizon, a weakly developed subsoil horizon, a subsurface that has been altered by physical or chemical processes, but not as dramatically as a calcic or argillic horizon. Duripan, a silica cemented hardpan, a subsurface horizon cemented mostly by silica, but carbonates may also be present. Fragipan, a dense, brittle, minimally cemented hardpan, a natural subsurface horizon that slakes in water and is high in bulk density, hard when dry, brittle when moist, and devoid of roots. Classic horizon, a degraded clay accumulation. This subsurface horizon used to be an argillic, nitric, or candic horizon, but clays and oxides have been removed by degradation and leaching. Gypsic horizon, a gypsum accumulation, an alluvial horizon in which gypsum has accumulated. The thickness in centimeters times the gypsum percentage equals at least 150. Candic horizon, an accumulation of low activity clay, a subsurface horizon similar to the argillic horizon, but composed of clay such as kaolinite that have low cation exchange capacity and very little chemical activity. Natric horizon, an accumulation of clay and high sodium content, a subsurface horizon similar to the argillic but with a high sodium content that makes the horizon hard and impermeable. Ortstein, a thick cemented alluvial horizon, an accumulation of spodic materials, meaning that organic materials and aluminum have moved from alluvial horizon to an alluvial horizon. Oxic horizon, a thick weathered oxidized horizon, a strongly weathered thick subsurface horizon found in the hot, humid tropics, that is oxizols. Most minerals remaining in the oxic horizon are not considered to be weatherable. Petrocalcic horizon, a carbonate cemented hardpan, a hard, that is indurated subsurface alluvial horizon cemented by carbonates. Roots penetrate only at fracture sites. Petrogypsic horizon, a gypsum cemented hardpan, a hard, that is indurated subsurface alluvial horizon cemented by gypsum. Roots penetrate only at fracture sites. Plasic horizon, an iron cemented hardpan, a hard, that is indurated subsurface cemented by iron or iron with manganese or organic matter. Roots penetrate only at fracture sites. Salic horizon, an accumulation of soluble salts, a subsurface accumulation of humus in an acidic soil. This horizon does not contain appreciable aluminum or sodic and is found only in cool, moist soils. Spodic horizon, an acidic accumulation of humus and aluminum. A subsurface accumulation of humus and aluminum with or without iron. This horizon is common in acidic, cool, moist soils, but can also be found in subtropical soils. Based on the information furnished on the topic entitled Soil Profile revealed that different layers of soil is visualized through vertical section, which provides greater amount of information on different layers. The study provides clues for classification of soils into different orders, suborders, grade groups, subgroups, etc. for knowing the differentiating characteristics of these soils. Further, the study helps in classifying the land or field into different capabilities for cultivation or growing of various agricultural crops or forest species. Besides these, soils at different depths can also be collected for determination of physical, chemical and biological properties for their suitability to cultivate or grow crops of economic importance.